Hi, everybody. Carl DePrado, A to Z Business IT. Working really hard to make sure you guys have a great day. One of the things that can really spoil your day, your week, or even your year is having one of your employees fall for a scam. We see them, they're very common. Um, and they're getting more and more sophisticated as we use ChatGPT. One of the favorite ones is having an employee buy gift cards because they got an email or a text message that they believed came from you, and they went ahead and spent their own money, or they may have transferred company funds through one of these types of exploits. So I wanted to do a couple of things here um, to really just start to talk to you about what to do in the if this event happens. So first of all, it is important to act quickly, and so what we want to do is take the following steps. You don't want to blame your employee, and I know it's easy to do. My wife will tell you that I'm not always the easiest one to get along with. At times, we're humans. We like to place blame. Why'd you fall for that? That's really not going to help the situation. So you want to support your employee and make sure that they're okay. It's pretty upsetting to everybody. I mean, I get calls every day about people who've fallen for scams. And I got to tell you, people are upset when that happens. It's not something people feel okay with. And even when they're reassured, they feel embarrassed and upset about it because if they've been taken advantage of. If you think about people who are victims of crime, a lot of crimes go unreported. So it's really important to make them feel okay, make them and create that environment so you have trust. So when something happens like this, they don't try to hide it. And that happens when you're in a fearful environment. You really always want to create that trust. It's very important, not just with your clients, but with your employees. It always starts at home. Next thing is you want to assess the situation. You want to find out as much as you can about the scam. When did they think it happened? Who was involved? How did it happen? What information or money was lost? This will help you understand the scope of the issue and how to best address it. Next, also just as important is notifying law enforcement. Even if you feel like this, first of all, let's say in a wire transfer, very few people understand that that in most cases during a wire transfer, you have up to 72 hours. You can get that money back if it was done under fraudulent means. So there are systems in place to recover that money, but you have a clock that's running there for 72 hours. But going back to why you would want to notify law enforcement, and the sad fact is that most people don't. About 20% of all online scams are reported. Is if it involved theft or fraudulent activity, it really does need to be the FBI does need to be notified. They have an internal complaint center. Now, are they going to get on your case individually and handle it? I hate to tell you, the answer is no. Unless the FBI for the New York area, where I'm out of Metro New York, I was in Nashville. I was talking to an agent. He says the FBI does not get involved unless the amount is over $100 million. Well, most of us don't have that walking around money, I'm sorry to say. And you say, well, then why even bother talking to the FBI at all? Well, a couple of things. One, they do collect that information as an aggregate. And over time, they start to look at patterns. And if they see enough activity, it will trigger them to go ahead and launch an investigation. So even though they may not directly move with the speed that you'd like, by putting that information inside, by reporting that, you have a better chance. Also, it helps other people not fall victim to this. As we've said, it's very painful to fall victim for one of these cyber thefts. Well, you don't want that to happen to somebody else. You want to then report it to your financial institutions. Credit cards were involved. If there was bank transfers, like I said, with the wire transfer, the banks have up to 72 hours. So there may be an opportunity for you to get your money back and really mitigate this risk. You also want to change passwords, anything that was involved in that. You also want to protect your business. If your business, if during the scam data was stolen, you're going to need steps to secure your system. You're going to need to have steps for people to actually investigate what happened. The worst thing you can do if your business falls for a scam like this is to just wipe all the computers and restart without doing a proper investigation. One, How do you know how the bad guys got in the first place? And if they got in there and you just restore bad data or bad systems, they can keep on getting in. Two, if you need to make an insurance claim, there's something which is called, you need to have somebody do forensics, really check and see what's happened and be able to package that. And you not only need it for the insurance company, but if you've triggered some laws such as the New York Shield Act or the FTC safeguard rules, you're going to need to have that information so that you can talk to a breach attorney who can notify the victims that are involved. And you want to do that as quickly as possible. Look, the biggest crimes don't always happen because of the first thing, but of the incident itself. A lot of the bigger crimes happen because somebody basically ignored it. Think about it like you get a letter from the IRS and it says there's a discrepancy or you didn't pay a sales tax enough, and it was like $10, and you ignore it for a few years. That $10 fine can balloon into something incredibly expensive and arduous. Well, it's the same thing with reporting. You need to go ahead and take that on proactively. First of all, it generates trust with your clients that, hey, something happened, but we're stepping in and taking care of it. And two, it reduces your exposure on the legal side. Finally, or not finally, there's a few others. You want to consult your staff. You want to educate them. You want to explain what happened here. You don't want to blame the person, unless somebody's done something arduous or totally, negligent. You really don't want to blame the staff as much because you want those other staff members to feel like they can come up too, and you don't want to make that first staff an example. But also, you want to explain, what's happened and how to avoid it. So, look, we can all fall victim. We have to be right 100% of the time, and the bad guy only has to be right once. So that type of odds are really not in our favor. So we need to do things to make sure that we mitigate those risks and make sure, so that they don't affect our business in a negative way. And last, like we were talking about before, if I haven't spoken, if God forbid if it's data, you really do need to consult an attorney and counsel to find out what laws you may be have violated or put yourself, not violated, but if your data was breached, you do have notification rules that you may fall under that need to be taken care of correctly. So again, there's a lot to handle. There's there's always two paths. You can do it yourself, and you may be right, you may not be right, or you get somebody like myself who's an expert who knows what we're doing. You can help and guide you through that to make sure that your data is secure, that you're creating a trusted environment for your clients so that they want to do business with you. Trust isn't always the biggest reason that your clients are going to do business, but it may be that. But in most cases, if they don't have that, you're not even going to get a chance to negotiate or to work with them or to keep them. So that's what we help you do here at A to Z Business IT, is grow your business by increasing the trust that you have with your clients, so that they want to give you your data and their most precious assets because they know they're safe. Anyway, I put a link in the description below. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Take care.